The following review is going to be a leader class Laser Optimus Prime from the Transformers Legacy toy line. Stay tuned. Rodimusbill here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do Transformers Legacy Laser Optimus Prime. Now this is from the G2 era. And it is a leader class, but with no window in the box at all. So it says Transformers Legacy. There's Prime in his oil tanker mode and robot mode. He's got some cool missiles he's launching. It says leader class, Laser Optimus Prime, the Transformers Generations Tomy logo. There's the Transformers Legacy logo. There is Prime in both modes, robot and tanker. The Transformers Legacy artwork. Here is the, I know a lot of people like the UPC, so if you want to scan it. And in the back, it is Laser Optimus Prime, robot to tanker mode in 30 steps. Tanker mode becomes a battle station. It looks like it's working on Optimus. And there is a QR code right there on the box. So now what you're going to do is we are going to scan that. Here, let's scan the box real quick, show you live. All right, and we're going to open it up. There you go, open. And it is Optimus Prime Autobot. So there is a cool, I guess, GIF, because you can see Optimus Prime moving his arms. And it says Autobot, Optimus Prime, Alt Mode, Semi-Truck, Function Leader, Origin Universe G2, Signature Weapon, Energon Sword. Combines with Energon Axe to form an indestructible weapon that can slice through any material. There's the bio. Optimus Prime fights bravely and selflessly for the freedom of all life forms. Strength a 9, Intelligence 9.8. Come on, you can give him a 10. Speed is 8, and firepower is 7.5. So that's pretty cool. And when we open this guy up, I already opened him and played with him and stuff, so we're just going to show you. When you open him up, he comes packed in robot mode. So one of the few figures that's actually in robot mode, and he comes with 2 weapons. So just wanted to show you. First, we'll take a look at the instruction booklet. Okay, Laser Optimus Prime, and it's a pretty big instruction booklet. Here, let's zoom out so we can get it all in. And you put the gun on top of the oil tanker. Oil tanker goes on the slot in Optimus Prime. Alright, shield storage right there, sword storage on the bottom. There is how you transform the tanker. This is how you transform the truck into the robot. This is how you can release these 2 pegs to launch the missiles. Oh, let's see, Energon Axe, you can put the 2 weapons together. There he is. And the Matrix, you can take the Matrix out of his chest. So, a lot going on here. And we'll take a look at the Energon Axe or shield. There it is. It's this. Now, the gimmick of the Legacy line is this clear blue plastic, all the Energon. And this becomes an axe. So, it's pretty neat. And then the sword right here, molded in that clear blue again. And what you do is you combine them together, and they form one big weird looking sword with the shield attached. And now we'll look at Optimus. So he's very reminiscent of the Bayverse Optimus, but G2 had it before him. And then you got the, let's see, here is the flames. So this guy's black and red with the flames. The G-verse movies, he was always blue. You've got the clear blue, the clear windshield. You got the smokestacks. You got the Autobot symbol. You got a red step up. It's got red around the wheels. It's got some cool, you can even see the lug nuts in the front wheel. Whoops, and you got to pull these out. The bottom of this figure is basically the Earthrise Optimus from the waist down. So here's a little sleeper section, which is neat. It clips in. Again, you've got the same legs as Universe Prime, or as what I said, same legs as Earthrise Prime. You got the, I don't know why they did the blue in the back, but it's still pretty molded detail. You got, looks like gas cans there. You got the port where you put the tanker on. Back doesn't look that bad. Back wheels, same little lug nut. They did a lot of detailing on the back wheels. Gas can. Front, you got that big grill. Would have liked the little Autobot symbol right there, but you got the, looks like a pulley in the front. You get the big steel grill. Again, you got the step up, which is a nice design. And there is the Optimus Prime at the bottom of it. And the tanker, this is the piece that you put on. You need to snap that in there. And actually, Prime could even use this. You can use that back there as a weapon. You can use it right there. But we'll get into that later. So, snap this on the tanker truck. So, you got pretty cool design up here. Very, very intricate. You got the oil tanker. You got the, I love this red right here. It breaks up the silver and gray. You got a 5mm port there. Again, you got more detailing. You got those cool wheels. The back, I mean, all this detail looks like a winch or a pulley in the back. I mean, they did a good job on the detail on this figure. Well, he is leader class price, so they better do something. And there's the other side, the front, and the bottom. And you could, what you do is you can pull this down like that. So that could stand on its own. Or you can put this here. So the trailer stays. Now, you look at these 5mm ports. We're going to take apart our slammer. And we're going to weaponize this. Just so you could see that it does have 5mm ports. And then we'll take some of Rodimus Prime's blast effects for the back. So you've got fire coming out of an oil tanker. Yes, I know that looks weird. And then we're gonna do, let's see, we got him in the front. Or actually, you know what? We will just take apart a few more of these things. Let's see. And we'll just weaponize this. And we'll take more of Slammer. There you go. So as you can see, it's got 5mm ports, which is brought over from the Siege Earthrise. And then you look at the actual figure, and he has the 5mm ports back here. Where's the other arm? Where's the other arm? Oh. And we'll just take these back here. So we've got a 5mm port there. Again, you've got 5mm ports back here on the figure to use your blast effects. So there's Optimus, and then you've got one right here. So as you can see, they brought over the special 5mm ports from the Siege Earthrise. Okay, now we're going to take a look at back to the tanker. Now, to open this up, what you want to do is unclip these two tabs and then pull this side down, pull this side down. Okay, and then the instructions say what you want to do is pull this down and you got to rotate this so when you fold it down, this fits in that groove like that. And then you brought the little repair dude out, and that is the whole base. Now you've got all these 5mm ports here. You got 1, 2. Let's see, is that compatible? Nope. Are these compatible? Oh man, now that is a big wasted opportunity. You would think these would be blast effect compatible, but they are not. And let's see. I guess you can do these. Nope, those aren't. So just so you know, they got 5mm ports all over here and all over here. Now, weapon storage. You see you've got this little tab and that little tab, and on the actual sword you got 2 tabs right there, so you can pop that in there. And over here you've got this like little H, and then you've got it right there, so you just pop that in here, and now you've got weapon storage. So that is all the trailer. And you can take this off. This little guy pops off. He's a 5mm port. So if you want, he can go in Optimus Prime's hand. He can go on the top of his trailer and all that good stuff. So you can put this back here. Yes, you can. So he's very, very compatible. And let's take a look at this real quick. See a nice little detail in here. You got all like little springs. You got a cool ramp. You've got more detailing over here. Pistons and springs and coils, all detailed. Even the little tower is pretty much detailed. I just wish you could do something with these pegs. So all in all, I think he's worth the price point. They did a very good job of him. And here is the Optimus cab once again. And now, before we do anything else, we're going to do some vehicle comparisons. Bear with me, we're going to do some comparisons that you probably won't see anywhere else. So, first we're going to bring in the Commander class Rodimus Prime. So, lengthwise, you see obviously Rodimus is so much bigger. He's taller and he's longer. So that is the Commander class versus the Leader class Prime. And then, I'm surprised no one ever showed you, no other reviewer shows you this. This is the Titans Return Optimus Prime. He's a triple changer. I think what they did was they took the Octane mold and made an Optimus Prime out of it. So as you can see, it's the same kind of truck up front. He's a gas tanker and he's a gas tanker. But this one is all 1 and this one is 2. I thought I'd bring that out. It's pretty cool. Let's see, we're going to bring out Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime. So that's how those guys compare. We're going to bring in Earthrise Optimus Prime. There you go. Actually, we're going to take this off right now. And now we're going to compare. This is Dark of the Moon Fire Blast Optimus. This is like a... they didn't really have Voyager size figures back then. But see, so this is kind of like in the Bayverse theme. But as you can see, this one's a little bigger. Let's see, lengthwise, yeah, this guy's longer. But still, he's a cool comparison. And then I'm going to bring in Revenge of the Fallen Optimus. Again, he's the Bayverse, but as you can see, still got the flames. So the Bayverse actually heavily favored the G2, which no, it wasn't mentioned that way, but that's what it was. And then we're going to bring in our other figures from Legacy. That is Voyager Bulkhead. We're going to do Deluxe Skids. We're going to bring in Deluxe RC. And then we're just going to bring in, I'll show you the little Core Class Hot Rod. And we're going to bring in Core Class Iguanas. Just to show you some comparisons. Did I miss anything else? No. So, we're going to bring in all of our Bayverse G2 Primes. So 3 different primes, 3 completely different transformations, and I like it. You know, at first I was a little leery about this kind of prime, but when I see G2, it does harpen back to G2. So I think they did a good job. All right. And now before we transform it, I'm going to do my little spiel like I always do. Normally, I always transform these things as they come packaged. Most reviewers do from vehicle mode to robot mode, but since this was packaged vehicle mode, I'm going to do vehicle mode first. But I will make sure we transform him back, because a lot of times it's a lot harder one way than the other way, and reviewers that don't show you both ways do you a disservice. All right, now let's start. Now to transform this guy is a little tricky. There's clearance issues, so you have to do it in a certain way. First, we're going to separate these. Then we're going to come here, and we're going to untab these. These tab in here. These are the arms. And this little piece tabs in right there. We're going to lift these up. Right? Then we're going to work on the feet. Then we're going to pull this down. And these, you're going to swing these in for the knees. Separate these. Separate the feet, and these were out, and it's just in. Now these are the exact same legs. Well, they're the same transformation legs as Earthrise. They just got new details. Okay, so we're gonna push this up like this. Okay, we're gonna put it up like that. We're gonna swing the legs around, and we're gonna separate this. But we're just going to move them over to the side like that so we can have some clearance issues. Alright. Now what we're going to do is we'll fold these up to get them out of the way. Now the chest unfolds just like Earthrise Prime does. And this part always pops off. It's a friction hinge. So that's what we got so far. Now the clearance issues are these, and let's take this and pull this back. So the clearance issues these pieces. So what you want to do is angle it back just enough. So right here, we're going to put these up. Now the arms are the problem. These arms fold in. Oops, what I just dropped. And these things will pop off a lot. All right, now this is your clearance issue. You just want to get these through here. Now once you have these through here, you can angle it back so you could swing these pieces up. Now once you swing these pieces up, then you can bring this down to snap it in. And then that's what you got so far. So bring the arms, will snap in like that. And then rotate it, it's in the proper position. Swing this over, snap it in, rotate the arms in their proper position. Now let's just put this back on real quick. All right, we're getting there. So the arms, if you don't angle them a certain way, you won't get this piece up, or you won't be able to do the arms. Now we're just gonna take the head, flip the head over. Now this is pretty neat. Back here you got these red things. What you want to do is, these are space fillers. You want to pull these out like that. So when you fold this in, and they've got 2 tabs right there, will fit into these slots. When you do that, it fills in that hole. Pretty cool. And then you could lock these in, lock them in, pull these down. And now the hands. These kind of look like Starscream's hands, where you take the top, pull it out, get your finger out. There you go. And then again, you pull this out, pull the hand down, close it up, and you are done. And we'll bring in this. Again, untab this, pull these down. We're just going to do real quick, and there is Optimus Prime all transformed, and he's pretty cool looking. Now, we'll look up close at Optimus Prime. He's got typical Optimus Prime's face, which is pretty neat. Now they'd say the eyes are blue, but there's really no light piping in. And you've got these big things on each side of his face, so really you can't look sideways. You've got the chest with the matrix. We'll just pull this out now, and we'll look at this later. Usually it pops out by itself, and now it's stuck. Ah, come on. Always on video. When the camera's rolling. Alright, we got the matrix out for now. And click this back in. Pull these down. Alright, where were we? Okay, so you got the Optimus Prime face, you got the chest, you got the blue for the grill for his stomach. You got some cool detail in there. And you go down, you got gray here. You got the black legs. Now this is a new mold from Earthrise Prime, but it's the only thing that they kept the same. You got the wheels, you got new wheels, the back's the same. And then not much of a backpack, just the top of the truck. And overall he's a pretty cool figure. Now for articulation, the head, very, very hard to turn. I guess like that on all of them. And very little up and down movement unless you move that whole thing. Now the arm, you've got this big thing in the way, so it could do a 360 like that if you move this down. It's got the 360 degrees at the elbow. It's got 90-degree bend, and the hands are rotate. So that's good. Again, here it is. I forgot to show you they go out to the side. Again, 90-degree bend, all that other good stuff. Waist rotation, yep, for transformation. And then the foot, about 90 degrees forward, 90 degrees back. You can do the whole split. You got a little thigh rotation, but not much. You've got more than 90 degree on the knees, and no knee rotations, and the feet. You got ankle to ankle rockage, and these feet move. Whoops, and that is your Earthrise Prime, or Legacy G2 Laser Prime. Now, what's cool is, let's bring in all our blast effects again. And you've got 4 blast effects right here. So you could put 4 blast effects in here, like that. And then these actually open up. And then you've got 6 missiles. Pretty cool. And they are not blast effects. You can see they're a little 3-dimensional. And then the other side, you've got that there. So now you've got Optimus with 12 missile launchers. Oh, and we never brought in the weapons. All right, and the sword. You can combine the sword. We'll extend this out. We'll stick this in. And now you've got... Is this only going one way? All right, and now you got Optimus all ready to go. He's got his sword with his axe combo. He's got the missile launchers, and he's pretty cool looking. I mean, he's kind of like G1-ish, but he's got all this extra stuff up here for G2 Prime. And again, let's see. What can we do with this? Can we do any blast effects? That don't look right. Let's do it. Well, kinda. And this thing doesn't have any... Oh, it's about a small one. Oh, put my small ones away. Oh well. And then that is... Now, can you carry his weapon on him? I wonder... Usually there's some way to carry the weapon on him. Now if there was a little slot like that where you could plop them in, that'd be pretty cool, but I don't see any. So you really can't store the weapons on him. And it's supposed to be an axe right there. Let's just put 2 of these here. So there is your Laser Optimus Prime. And we'll do Bloosh for MGO. Let's get these Omega Supremes. Now let's really bloosh them up. There you go. And like I said before, he is compatible. And let's see, you've got a port there. You've got a port here. And we're just going to bring this, stick that here as a backpack. Or we're going to try to. There you go. Just so you can see, he is compatible with all your weaponizers and your blast effects. Now, let's look at the Matrix. This is the Matrix it came with, and it is actually more wider. It's not as long as like Rodimus Prime's Matrix, and it is wider, so it's a completely different Matrix. And like I said, you just pop this open. It's a cool little Matrix holder. I put the 2 lines on top, and very noticeable Matrix. Now, let's get to the instruction booklet to see if we missed anything. Ah, yes. The instruction booklet says you could take this off and use this as a gun, or it's got it there. No biggie. And what else did we miss? Because these instructions tell you a lot. You got the Matrix. You got that gun right there. And I think that's about it. And that is the good old Optimus Prime. And you really can't have him interact with the base mode. I guess you'll see some of my pictures I'll attach where you can have this work on Optimus in vehicle mode. But really, I mean, I guess it's only good for if you have core class figure stuff. But I wonder if you could stand Optimus behind it. Let's try having him here. I guess if you want, you could say he's controlling the gun. But, so it's a base that's not designed to work with him. I guess it's more of a base as a battle platform. That is, like I said, a lot of 5mm ports. You can do whatever you want with this bad boy. Alright, now we're going to do some robot to robot comparison. And our first robot comparison, we're going to bring in Legacy Voyager Bulkhead. So you got the leader class Optimus Prime with the Voyager Bulkhead, Wave 1. Then we're going to bring in our Wave 1 Deluxe figure Skids. That's how those 2 guys compare. And then the only other Legacy Deluxe we have is RC. So that is how RC from the Prime universe compares with the Optimus Prime. And then we're going to bring in Rodimus Prime Commander class, just because I love this guy and I love bringing him out for any comparison. So now he's a Commander class and he's a leader, but in reality they're both Voyager size figures, a lot of accessories. Now for the fun part. This is the Titans Return Optimus Prime. Now this was more suited for the Octane Triple Changer mode, but he's the Optimus Prime, so he's also a gas tanker, and he's very reminiscent with the missiles up top to the Generation 2 Optimus, so that would be a cool comparison. I haven't seen any other reviewer compare this guy with this guy. I don't know why, but I'm going to show you. And here's the Earthrise Prime. This is actually the Netflix version, so I don't have the trailer to compare. But it shares the legs, but that's about it with this guy. Then we're going to bring in the Voyager Bumblebee movie Voyager. That's pretty cool. That's how Optimus Prime should have looked. And since he is a truck with a long nose, this is the Studio Series Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime. And this is the Mech Tech Voyager Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime in truck mode, you'll see why I did the comparisons. And since his legacy, here's legacy, core class Hot Rod, core class Iguanus, and core class Skywave. And that is it for the comparisons. Final thoughts on robot mode. I wanted to show you again Earthrise Prime. So you compare the 2 feet. See, this Prime's even got the knees that fold up, but they don't do nothing. On this Prime, the knees do fold up. And just notice you've got a little blaster point right there. And you've got one there. So more blast effect points, which is pretty good. So you got this area has been redesigned. Those are the same. Obviously the feet different color. The wheels are about the same. Well, this one's got a little dab in the middle. This one doesn't. The back's been redesigned. Prime closes up pretty good. This one's more hollow. And that's about it for similarities. Arms are different. Even these arms are, you know, transformed differently, but you still have this piece that folds down. So they kept some elements of Earthrise Prime, and they did a completely new mold. And now, I always transform it back, because sometimes it's a lot easier or harder to transform these guys back. So, first we'll start with this. Fold this up, extend this, rotate it, fold this in, and then these will just fold up. This will lock them in right there, and that will shut. Oh, you know what? My bad. First we're going to do weapon storage. Again, you've got that little H right there. So you're going to fold this in, and we're going to put this in there like that. And then you've got, let's see, where'd they go? These two, right? There's that H again, but you got these two, and you got these 2 tabs on the sword. So you can put these back together. Now you can just lift these up. Make sure this guy's straight. Tab this in. Tab it in on both sides, and now you're done. Now, for Optimus. First, I like to do the hands. You lift these up, do the hands, put them away. And then you could unhook these to give you clearance. Now, we're going to pull this back. And this just snaps down. Let's get rid of the head right now. We'll close these up so we can access the chest. Now this locks in, so we just got to pull this out. You got 2 tabs there. Go into this right here. And this piece pops off a lot. It's the friction hinges, and a lot of people say they've been popping off too. Okay, so we'll stop there. The arms will rotate so they're not exactly even. Now what we'll do is take the arms, and here's that clearance issue. Just put these back, because once you do the arms, get them out of the way. Oh, yeah, they slide out mushroom joints. There. Now you can. The problem is you got to pull these down. So this goes down. The other half goes down. And what you can do now is fold this up all the way. Yep, here goes the matrix. See? When you don't want it to come out, it comes out. And you do want it to come out, it doesn't come out. There. Then you can take these, move them up. You can clip these together. See, now these fold it that way. Now you gotta fold this. Is that right? Okay, yeah, because these fold in. So you gotta fold it up and then rotate the chest. Wait, why won't this work? Oh, my bad. You got to rotate these around. Now when you pull this down and pull the legs down, then you have clearance. Now you got a little tab right there, and you can squeeze that in there like that. Over here, you can lock that in there, lock the legs together, pull these down. These, it's important to do this on this one. Earthrise Prime, you didn't have to really do this, but on these you got to bring these down because they're gonna clip in there. So you gotta clip that in, and bring this down. You got two tabs here, goes into those slots. So the biggest issue is you got the way the arms fold up, and you got these pieces. You have to angle it to get this pieces right. So, and that is, oh, and I always forget these silly things because they keep popping back anyway. And there is your Optimus Prime back in vehicle mode. Now what I wanted to show you, oh, let's get the weapons again. Also in the instructions, so they got a big instruction sheet, and I wanted to make sure you guys have everything in the instructions. Also in the instructions are how to store both these weapons. Now, you've got these two tabs down there. So what you want to do is you can store the shield there. And this down here is very reminiscent of like the Rodimus. You see a tab there and a tab there. So you can put the gun in there. And also, the instructions say you can take this little guy off and put him here. So that is the instruction booklet. Shield there, gun there, sword on the bottom. So I wanted to make sure I get everything that the instructions tell you. Okay, anything else? I think that is about it. So let's get this guy back in robot mode. Final thoughts on this guy. Let's see, I will mention this. When you put the sword in, the sword does have this little tab right there. So what you want to do is make sure it slides in like this so the tab's not interfering with it. The hardest part is do not break it. You want to force these arms and these little pieces right there. That is the biggest part of this. You're going to have to practice. These will only fold up when there's enough. And that's just my final thoughts. Please study how you transform it, the steps. You don't want to break that piece. You don't want to break the arms. You know, like I said, this piece pops off. But that's about it for Laser Optimus Prime. I was going to get this guy, but then I decided, you know what? I'm going to get him because I think he's pretty cool. So, like, subscribe to the channel. I hope you enjoyed this. Please check out my other videos. We do DC, we do Transformers, Marvel figures, new toy sightings. We do all that good stuff. Check out Big Bad Toy Store. If there's an Amazon link, feel free to click below that. Help me out. And as always, transform and roll out.